Hey everybody. Oh, it's Thursday night. Tomorrow's Friday. You know what that means. And I just finished the 8th episode of The Last of Us. Am I bleeding or anything? Got one more episode. Finish it. I don't know if I'll review it. It's pretty good. But, you know, this is taking up all my movie time watching. But I just feel compelled to review. And I was going to review a short story by Stephen King, Jerusalem's Lot from Night Shift. This is his, at the time, this was his fourth book he wrote. Carrie, Salem's Lot, and The Shining. So Night Shift was, forgot what you call a book of short stories. And this was published in 76, 77, 78. And I reviewed Children of the Corn before. I don't think I reviewed any others. I read Trucks. I don't think I reviewed that. Or maybe I did. There's some good stories in here. Anyway, I read Jerusalem's Lot, the first story. There's a forward. I didn't read it. It's 35 pages long, and it has nothing really. He doesn't overtly state vampires, and he's trying to write in the Lovecraft style, which I commend him for, because I don't think anyone in the 70s was trying to write like Lovecraft. It seems like, I mean, I don't know for sure, but it didn't seem like he wasn't on the radar of like horror in the 70s. Maybe he was, but it just doesn't seem like it. I didn't hear of Lovecraft till like the 80s. Anyway, Stephen King, he's definitely writing, trying to write in the Lovecraft style, and it's well written. He's able to copy that style, but now I adore Lovecraft, his style, but that's his. It seems like he created that. It's real specific to him, and this came off as real shallow and very by the numbers, and just maybe it was just an exercise. I don't know, but it's very cliche. The ending is just like ends like so many Lovecraft stories, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just like propped up. It just doesn't feel like anything's in it. It's well written, and it's in letters. It's real vague. It reminds me of a lot of other books I've read by mediocre authors. It was boring, but it just wasn't as offensive to me as King usually is. So I would just give it a 3. As I was reading it, I was like, do I just not like King so much that I just don't like anything? But I remember Children of the Corn was good. I read the Boogeyman. I don't think I reviewed it. That one was good. So short though. I can't believe they made a movie. They made a movie, and I don't know, but I bet it has nothing from the story. But that's all I really had to say about it. But that's just, yeah. There's really not much to say about it. But I listened to Pestilence. I think it's a 1989. I don't know. Maybe 1990. If I could find a year on this. Their Consvming Impvlse album. It says 89-90. You know, I remember I heard this album when the Metallica Black came out. And this is the original art that I've never seen before. And this is the art that the record label went with. I guess because I've seen this one first, I like this one better. This one's really good. There's the band, which consists of Patrick Mameli, lead guitars, Patrick Uterwick, lead guitars, Marco Faudis, drums, and Martin Van Drunen on vocals and bass guitar. And I was gonna listen to a few songs because, like I said, I used to have the tape, and I liked it. It was like, at the time, it was new. It was new to me still. Death metal, I was new to it, but I lost it, broke it, got rid of it or something. And I was listening to it, and I was like, man, Pestilence Consvming Impvlse was awesome. So I ordered it again, and dude, I had recognized how good it was when I had the tape, but listen to it now, dude. Every song is just a hit. And reading the lyrics, I was like, dude, these are all good stories, and I understand what each one is about. A lot of bands, their lyrics, well, I don't know a lot, but some bands I listen to, their lyrics are vague. I don't understand them. Words sound cool, phrases, but I don't. I'm not getting the meaning of a lot. But with Pestilence Consvming Impvlse, you know what each song is about. So I'm just gonna go through each song and tell you what it's about, because I enjoyed reading these much more than the Stephen King. And I know I'm bashing King, but that's just the truth. And the drummer wrote like all of the lyrics, and he's not in the band anymore. And I was like, man. So, and then before that, I'll just say, yeah, every song, it's just brutal, heavy, thrash, death, metal. And two songs, you hear little keyboards that just add, like, they hit at just the right time. They get heavy at the right time. They slow down. They'll chug. They'll go all out speed. No blast beats, though. The drummer, Marco Faudis, he does these drum rolls that, dude, they sound so good, so tight, and like lead you, like, it just, yeah, like I said, every song just kicks ass. This album is so good. It just blew me away. And I knew when I first heard it, when it came out, like, of course I liked the first song, Dehydrated, and then Out of Body. But I don't know, I just didn't recognize the brutality and just how good it is. So anyway, we'll just start. Dehydrated is about someone that's lost in the desert, and I'm gonna read some of the lyrics. Lost in the desert for reasons unknown, an extensive barren plain before you, a gruesome affliction, the heat of the sun, don't really know in what direction to go. And it's just, yeah, like someone that's lost in the desert, they're hallucinating, they're dehydrating, and they're at death's door, and then vultures are circling. And yeah, you just know what this song is about. And the last verse is a repeat of the first one, but at the end he's like, a gruesome affliction, the heat of the sun, don't fucking know what direction to go to. It just, Martin Van Drunen's vocals are just hideous. They're so desperate and tortured, and he just sounds like he's in agonizing pain. One of my favorite vocalists is Brain from The Accused. He just sounds, actually, it's something Soundgarden said about him. They're like, if a lizard could sing, that's what it would sound like The Accused. Just, if pure torture could sing, it would sound like Martin Van Drunen. The next song, The Process of Suffocation, is just about, the world dying from pollution. The last lines are, why give a child its birth when we are poisoning our earth? The heritage of this generation is a planet threatened with destruction. Third song, Suspended Animation, is just about exactly that. Like, someone that gets a disease that they can't cure, so they freeze them, and you're just waiting for a cure. Um, forever frozen in their forever frozen is their destination in a state of suspended animation. Fourth song, The Trauma, is just about someone that survived it doesn't say what it was, but some kind of war. Now you would think of a mass shooting. It says, nightmares controlling my life. In my own world I live, suffer day and night. I face pain I don't want to see, makes me realize it won't leave me. Horrible events pass me by. I wake from my cry in the middle of the night. I find myself shuddering in sweat, memories of sorrow and death. And that's really good. I think that might be one of my favorite. The fifth song, Chronic Infection. The first lines, I'm gonna try to not sit, not do his death metal vocals, but just the rhyming pattern that he does. It's a forced isolation and centuries discussed disease of the soul, living lives which are lost, muddled identities, living out days, scarring its victims a formless face. It's just about getting a chronic infection, or the whole world gets a incurable infection. I guess, man, Marco was you talk about body horror. He seems to be really concerned with that, because the sixth song is Out of the Body. And yeah, like I said about Martin Van Drunen's vocals, this is the vocals, the lyrics really accentuate just how desperate and painful he sounds. Where he says, a swelling on my body makes me suffer, live in anxiety, no time to waste. Just open an abscess. Will you please help me? When he says, "Will you please help me?" it just sounds like he's begging for help. The ignorance is dominating. Remedies you try. I cannot live this life any longer. What is it and why? Desperation, confused mind. Never heard of the disease of this kind. So tell me, what can I do to leave this hell I'm going through? That's just everyone now. Seventh song, Echoes of Death. This one's weird. It's they go into space. It's like Voivod territory and just dealing with dying and contemplating death. The eighth song is, I always thought it was Defy Thy Master, but it's Deify Thy Master. And I would say maybe these are the least of the lyrics, but the way Martin Van Drunen vomits them forth. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, we'll skip this one. And then the final song, Reduced to Ashes. Well, yeah, Deify Thy Master is just about, I guess, following a cult or any kind of religion and just being so absorbed in it, you'll die for it. The final song is Reduced to Ashes, is just about burning witches at the stake. And again, you have to, hopefully you like brutal death thrash, because this, like I said, each song has something in it, or the whole song is good, but each song just has a badass riff, awesome drum beat, the vocals are great, the lead guitars, the sound is just tough, thick, brutal, it's just satisfying, the crunch of the guitars. Yeah, the way Martin Van Drunen says these lines. Tortured till confession, await the execution, moaning and suffering, tormented till death on the rack. Yeah, the way he's spitting these out. Limbs chopped off, viscera torn out, mutilated venereal organs, death in the name of the church, decapitated or quartered. Oh yeah, in Chronic Infection, there's a word I thought it was maybe like misspelled laicization. Laicization. I had to look it up. It just means like removed from something, to be secularly removed, like from, like the school was laic laicized from the church, like something like that. So I learned a word, which is actually still don't know what it means. But yeah, I just fell in love with this album today. Like I was so tired, I was kind of dozing off, and I put this, like I was actually dozing off when I was reading Jerusalem's Lot. But these, I was like, wow, these are, damn you, Marco Fotis. Where did you learn to write these lyrics, and are you still writing? Um, I'd say my favorite are Dehydrated. Process of Suffocation is good. Is really good. Out of the Body is really good. But yeah, Trauma, which is a great song. It's not my favorite from here, but the lyrics might be the best. I just felt like just kind of what a person, of any kind of trauma might feel. So more lyrically, I'd give this a 5 out of 5. Manos Hands of Fate. Dude, musically, a 4 out of 5. But man, I saw a girl on Instagram. She did her makeup like that, and I was like, "Can you imagine like a face tattoo? What the hell was that?" So yeah, man. If you have any interest in brutal death thrash metal, uh, check this album out. I think Pestilence is still going, but they don't sound like this anymore. The albums after this, Spheres, and Testimony, they're pretty good. But Martin Van Drunen had left by then, and he went to Asphyx but I think his vocals were the best on this. This is his best vocal performance, and it's oh my god, I had the word, but it's just it's hysterical, disgusting, frightening, desperate. So I got one more episode of Last of Us, and I'll see you later. Bye.